Hello children, I hope you have gone through my previous video of English language. Now I am back again with another video. In the previous video, I told you that we will be starting with the first question which is given in your practice paper. And the first question is of composition, where they have asked you to write a composition in and around 300 to 350 words. And we have also discussed the first part of question 1, that was the story narration. And there we have discussed few points also, that how you can write an impressive story. Now today in this video we will discuss the second part and the third part of question number 1. So I have given you the questions in the previous video. You can go through those questions, and otherwise you will be getting these questions on your screen. So the second question, or the B part, is you have to represent your school in an inter-school singing competition. Describe your excitement on being selected in the group, the competition, and your feelings on having won laurels for your school. So this is the second part of the first question. As you see in the question itself, it asks you to describe. That means this question is of descriptive compositions. And we have discussed about the descriptive compositions, that the descriptive compositions could be a description of a person, or be it a thing or a place. The one thing which you always have to keep in mind, that your composition should have a proper details of whatever is being asked. Like if we talk about this question, we can see that it is asking you about the inter-school singing competition. And what you have to describe? You have to describe it in 3 parts. First thing, your excitement on being selected in the group. Secondly, you have to describe the competition, what kind of a competition it was. And thirdly, your feelings on having won laurels for your school. What does it mean? That means you have won the competition. So as I told you in the previous video, that always your compositions should start with the introduction. So the first paragraph should be of introduction. Now here obviously you are going to describe yourself. So in introduction, it has to be very impressive. In introduction, you will write some, if you are from some musical background, then you can write that. If you have learnt music from somewhere, you can write that also. And firstly and foremostly, that your desire to be selected in the group. So after writing the introduction, you will go to the second paragraph. Now in second paragraph, you can describe the thing which is asked here, that your excitement on being selected. Excitement means you will start from the beginning, like maybe in the morning you must have got up the day when the selections have to be done, and then how excited you were to reach school, and then going for the auditions. Now one thing always you have to keep in mind, importantly children, that you have to select an angle in the composition which you are going to emphasize on. Like I said in the first paragraph itself, you said that you had a very strong desire to be selected in the group. So keeping this in mind, you are going to proceed in your compositions. So the second paragraph is going to describe all your excitement about how you were excited to be selected. Then I am discussing few points here, that how you can make it impressive. So the first point which you have to keep in mind is that be sensitive and thoughtful. Be sensitive and thoughtful means you have to use all your senses, sense of sight, sense of smell, maybe sense of hearing. Means you would have heard from somewhere that such competition is being organized by the school, and then the auditions are going on, and then you would have decided that I should also be a part of that competition. So such things. Secondly, look for the significant details. Significant details means as you enter to the audition hall, what kind of people you were able to see there. Maybe there would be many kind of children there. There would be different categories from where the selections has to be done. Then there would be judges over there. Some technicians would be there. So all these people you have to describe there. The scene inside the room. Then next thing is select the concrete details. Concrete details means you would have got the details from somewhere that in which category you fall in, and then which place you have to go for the audition, what kind of a song you have to select and sing. Next are the comparisons. You should have the comparisons of objects, scenes which you are able to see inside the room. Then make the details more vivid and easy to imagine. Vivid means you are going to write in such a way that the reader who is reading your composition can imagine the picture as it is, the way you have seen it in the room. So like you can say that there were so many competitors of yours, and out of those where you see yourself among them, and such kind of things. Then comes use vivid imagery. Imagery means you are going to form the images which you were able to see there, like how the judges were sitting, how many judges were there in the panel, and then what were your feelings after seeing them. Then be observant in real life, like you are watching people, you are listening the sounds, you can smell few things over there. Keep your eyes open so that you will be able to write your compositions in a vivid way. Now the third thing which is being asked here in this question is, the third paragraph which you are going to make is your feelings on having won laurels for your school. Now you would have gone for the competition, since it is an inter-school competition, so there would be many schools, those who were participating there. There would be children of different school. Maybe they would be better than you some way or the other. Somewhere you would have some hesitation also in your mind. Maybe somewhere you would have felt that you are less than them, but you have to keep this in mind, that you have a strong desire and you are determined to win the competition. So you should not feel hesitant in front of anyone. Then when your chance came to sing, how were your feelings? And ultimately when the results were declared, what were your feeling? What thoughts were going on in your mind, that how you have sang, and then in which place you are going to fall. And ultimately when the results were declared, your name was there, and what were the feelings during that time. So this is going to be the distribution of the paragraphs. Ultimately at the end, as I told you before also, the last paragraph should be of conclusion. Now this conclusion always have your own ideas, your own suggestions, and any moral which you want to share with the readers. Maybe you say that since you have won the competition, so you can write that if you have a strong desire and determination in your mind, you can do just anything in your life. So this way you are going to conclude your composition. One more point I would like to add here is, if you are good in English, you can write good English. Please don't be hesitant in writing your ideas. Even you can use some figure of speeches like simile, metaphors. Even you can use some idioms, some phrases to enhance your composition. Like in Hindi we study alankar to beautify any writing. Same way we study in English the figure of speeches to enhance the beauty of the writing. So you can use all these things. Few more examples of descriptive compositions could be like description of any town, description of village. So according to the topics we describe the ideas. The thing which you have to keep in mind is the ideas which you are writing on the paper should be in an order. One idea which you have already discussed should not be repeated again. Secondly, you have to keep in mind the tenses. And thirdly, the word limit. Last time also I told you that 350 word is the limit. So you should not exceed the limit. 2 or 3 words is okay, but not more than 2-3 words. So this was the second part of question number 1. That was that you have to represent your school in an inter-school singing competition, and you have to describe your excitement, the competition and the feelings after winning the laurels for your school. Now we move to the next topic, that is C, question number C, that is you went to watch a 3D movie for the first time. Narrate your experience. How did you feel once you came out from the theatre? Now children, the question itself says that it is a narrative kind of question. And if you remember, in the previous video we have studied that how to write the narrative compositions in the form of story. So here the first thing is that you went to watch a 3D movie for the first time. You have to keep in mind that you are going to watch the movie for the first time. So the introduction should be very, very impressive. Impressive in which form it should be? Like maybe this program was made by your parents to watch the movie, maybe the program was made by the friends to watch the movie, or you write your feelings about the movie. Maybe you are very fond of watching movies, so you write that in the first paragraph. Then how the program was made to watch the movie. Then they have asked you that your experience you have to narrate. Experience will be from the beginning. Beginning means since morning till you went for the watching the movie and you came out from the theatre. Means you got up in the morning and then how excited you were. It was there in your mind that today you have to go to watch the movie, and what kind of a dress you wore for it, what was the name of the movie. And since you were watching it for the first time, so maybe you don't have any idea that what kind of 3D movies are. So there would be some idea about them in your mind. So you would be thinking about the movie. That was your excitement. If you're going with your friends, then there would be more exciting because you would be discussing that with your friends, that what kind of the movie it's going to be. So the whole experience. Then secondly, when you enter the theatre hall, you would be, that now you know that when you go for watching the 3D movies, you get the 3D glasses outside. So maybe you at that time you didn't know that why you are getting those glasses, but when you enter inside the theatre and the movie started, that was a different kind of excitement when you started watching the movie. That all you have to narrate, that what was the first feeling came into your mind after seeing that movie. Then what all was served inside, maybe when you have gone to watch it for the first time, maybe there were some refreshments there which has added on into that watching of the movie, the excitement. Then after watching the whole movie, when you came out from the movie theatre, what was the feeling? Feeling which you have shared with your friends, feelings which you have shared with your parents, or maybe later on with other people, maybe the feelings which you have shared with yourself. What was the idea before going to watch the movie and the experience after watching the movie. So that all you have to narrate. So let's go through those points which we have gone through the last time, that how you can enhance or beautify your narration. So ingredients, an interesting incident is here given to you, that you are going to watch a 3D movie for the first time. Then characters, as I told you, maybe the program was made by your parents or maybe with your friends, so those could be the characters. Then a suitable background, which may be here the background is obviously the movie theatre, so what was the experience there. Then dialogue and language, obviously the movie when you have watched, so you would have watched it quietly. Maybe in between when you were getting excited, you would have had some dialogues either with your parents or with your friends. Then a particular mood or aim. So mood was obviously you were very, very excited to watch that movie. So all these things you have to explain. Then first thing, as I told you in all the compositions, that you have to keep the order of ideas. Order means from getting up in the morning from the bed and at night going to the bed. This should be the order. It's not that you start from the later part and then come back to morning and then go back again to the later part. This should not be there. The ideas should be in sequence. Then begin with a very exciting introduction, as I told you. Then the dialogues which you are using in between, they also has to be very, very exciting, means because the readers, those who are reading, they should also have that same experience, that how excited you were to watch that movie. Then decide about the selection of characters and anecdotes, that in between maybe you want to add some anecdotes, maybe a very little story related with that. Then consider the importance of the scene and the time of the incident. Means maybe when you went to watch that movie, maybe it was the starting of your summer break, maybe it would be a time of right after finishing your exams. That excitement is something else. And then decide which aspect you are going to emphasize and make personal comments. These personal comments should come only in the conclusion part. So there you can write that till now whatever your ideas were about 3D movies, after seeing it, all it changed. And obviously you can compare the 3D movies with the normal movies and what is the difference. And at the end you can give your own suggestions or your own ideas. So this way you are going to conclude your composition. So children, this was the third part of the first question, that is question number C. And this was the narrative composition. So children, one more suggestion here I would like to give you, that whenever you choose the topic, you should choose such topic where you have a sound knowledge of the topic. Like if we take an example of this question C, that you went to see the 3D movie and what was your excitement. Now it may be possible that there would be any student who has not seen any 3D movie, and then you just started writing on this. So you will end up messing up the topic and you won't be able to write some good points in it. So always select the topic on which you have a proper knowledge of it. So this is the suggestion. So here this is all for today's video. Now again I expect that you will write the answers of these two questions. This time I am not giving you the assignment of any separate questions. The questions which I have discussed with you today in this video, you are going to write those compositions in your own language. Thank you.